ROFL Kopter. It is the last day we have created something that can be used for human beings, even if it's destroyed after the boat's end.
Okay, starting with other ideas. We didn't have any. This was an idea we came up with when we were brainstorming ideas for the first robot, and we decided to hold off and use it for the last one. So yeah, there's nothing to use there. Okay, so we can talk a little bit about the printer which is running over here. Is it doing anything specific or?
Right now it's writing the letter G.
Okay.
A little bit off track, but it will probably practice on the next one.
Okay. So it's a printer, obviously. And the original design we found looked more like a printer. So you put the paper in, and the paper moved through, and the marker went back and forth. Worked like a printer. We redesigned it quite a lot. We went with more of a rover design so that the printer moves and what it's writing on stays stationary. See, this is the chassis up here. It's powered by one motor to the back wheels. And then there's one motor on the top, rotating swing arm, which you can see over in this picture. And then there's one motor that lifts and lowers the pen as need be. There's no sensors on this, is there? No sensors. You know, it's a pretty simple robot. The complex part is a program, so I'm going to turn it over to Matthew, and he'll explain how this works.
Alright, for the programming, I don't know if everybody wants to gather around and take a look at it, but it's up on the computer right here, rather than pulling it up there, because it's got to be connected to the robot at the same time. The programming is macro-based. I don't know if too many people here are familiar with macro programming, but the way I have the program laid out is you open it up. It comes up with this user interface, which I put our logo on it. It has directions that tell you to open up the NXT program before picking the letters. And then as you pick an individual letter, it just takes over the mouse and does everything for you. I just had to do start the letter H. The last one got a little bit messed up, but now it's doing the letter H. The programming, I have it all loaded into every individual letter I have in a NXT program file format, and I have it just all in one central file location. And then the macro program itself, what it does is it takes over the mouse. I'll just pull up the program here. But it pulls up, this is what starts the interface for the programming for the macro, and then once you select the buttons, it takes over the mouse, it opens up the NXT, and all it's doing is opening whichever file corresponds to that letter and then playing it. So it didn't end up being that complicated. We were going to go after a couple even more complicated programming ideas with this robot, but they didn't really work out with mechanics as well as we wanted them to. But, I mean, it turned out decently well, so far. These are the first three letters that have come from this yet. We weren't able to test anything else because we just barely decided to turn it into a letter printing robot rather than a picture printing robot at the end of last class session. So that's the programming.
Any questions?
Yes.
So do you run into any problems? I mean, not all letters are all. Do you run into any problems due to the fact that it's got a circular kind of up and down motion? How it's not just straight up and down?
Every letter is this tall. It's 40 pixels according to the program. It's not that much of a distortion.
Yeah.
With the letters. With the picture, it probably would have had a little bit more noticeable of a distortion, but like hardly. I mean, as you can see, it's still, the vertical lines are still pretty straight. So.
And it doesn't lift the pen at all. It just goes and kind of connects all of them.
No, that was the problems that we were having. That's why we didn't do a picture. That's why we were doing letters instead of the pictures, is we can't lift the pen up and down off the paper, off the desk like we thought we were going to be able to. It was just every time the pen would come up and down, it would draw. It would go down too hard. The motor wouldn't control the pen like well enough, and it would just go down too hard and create like a big, rough, hard mark on the table every time. And I mean, of course, probably like we would have spent a lot of time on the design and made some sort of platform or something like this worked or something, but it just for as much time as we were limited to at the end, we just had to trace it on. What was your question?
Pretty much the same question. Like, so you guys had to scrap the printing idea,
Yeah.
the picture idea.
Yeah, we completely scrapped the original printer plans from. We were gonna take that out of a NXT book that Mitch bought off of Amazon. We ended up scratching that because this is once we like just kind of started thinking about it. If you were to design it like this, it seemed like it would be fail-proof, and it kind of was. I mean, it wasn't as hard as.
Just need more time.
Yeah, just. I mean, it was a pretty basic idea though. It came pretty straightforward, and at least I thought so.
Anything else?
Okay.
How long does it usually take to draw a letter?
I don't know, like a minute. It depends on the letter. I'll get a couple more letters started real quick. Just while I was presentations are doing. Yeah, which will be the letter E.
Like, were there any letters you had particular trouble programming into?
I only did the letters A through I. I did these last night. I was just kind of doing them in my head. I had no idea what the output would be. These are the first, like I said, the first letters that have come from this are this. These. We were, before last night, the idea was maybe to do like a smiley face or something, but I kind of thought last night while I finally like got down to it, so I like figured the letters would be easier to figure out.
I think
They're not perfect, but
really difficult to distinguish these two, I think. O and D.
Yes, odd.
Kind of the curve in here. B should be just like, you just draw like that way. But
Like,
O and D,
You could do O with a,
Just do lowercase d.
just a O with it like that way.
yeah, like a O and then
What's a
just
0? Just do a lowercase d.
Yeah, that's the O, right? The D, how can you do the D?
Consistency.
Is there a caps lock on it? Can I change to caps and lowercase?
What about cursive? Can it write in cursive?
Give it enough time.
These are all
probably
reasonable
could.
questions.
And also really difficult to Z too. That is going kind of the awkward direction, right? That is not the drawing like this way here, and then really difficult to draw this line here.
It just did.
Yeah, but maybe just like that way.
Yeah,
It's like a
that doesn't look too bad.
squiggle, Sort of a squiggle.
Yeah, we kind of really just maybe. Z should be really
It's basically giant.
What about Q?
Q. Oh yeah.
R.
Q. R. R and B.
R is still.
Does anyone have any other letters?
W would take forever.
I think that's
A W. Oh my god.
S. Yeah, S would be just as hard.
Yeah, S also, yeah, same thing. Yeah, S. And all curved. But this one is maybe just like write down like that way.
Yeah, but what if you want a 5?
5? We just alphabet only. Not the numeric.
Not compute.
Okay, how long does it take?
More or less 1 minute.
1 minute? Less than 1 minute? Okay.
So it could write a final project in approximately a week. Good to know.
And then you just have to bring your table in.
Okay, any other question? Okay, thank you.